At Alpert's, you can have new furniture in your home with no money to pay till 95. Your credit card company can't do it. Your bank can't do it. Only Alpert's with guaranteed lowest prices can do it. No down payments, no interest charges, no monthly payments till 95. It doesn't cost money to buy. At the store that sells more furniture than any store in Rhode Island, Alpert's, Route 6, Seekonk.
Some people are pretty sure they're going to buy a Toyota Corolla DX until they find out the Honda Civic LX sedan gives you power windows, dual airbags, power door locks, cruise control, a tachometer, and a 4-speaker stereo cassette, all standard. And the Civic saves you almost $1,900 over a comparably equipped Corolla. Then they tend to reverse their position. Opt for the Civic from Honda.
Walter Cryan,
Karen Adams,
Channel 12 Eyewitness News.
The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present today's finalists in the Johnny Petraglia Open. The 5th seed is David Ozio, a 10-time PBA champion and the 1991 PBA Player of the Year. His opponent is Barker Bone III, a local favorite and 10-time champ, 4-time Sportsmanship Award winner. The winner of that game will face this year's True Value Open winner, 3-time PBA champion, Brian Goebel. Next up is 2-time PBA Player of the Year and 13-time champion from Barquisimeto, Venezuela, and Leto Moricelli. And our tournament leader is the Tour's only 2-time winner this year. He needs to win just one match for his 7th PBA championship and $34,000 first prize, Norm Duke. And that's our outstanding field of finalists for this afternoon's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast. So here we are, standing room only crowd at huge Caroler Lanes for the finals of the $170,000 Johnny Petraglia Open. And has it ever been a successful week? Hello again. I'm Chris Schenkel. Welcome to our live telecast. We know it's going to be exciting. Will it be as exciting as last week? Well, last week was really something. I think you'll agree with me. Because during the PBA National Championship, Hall of Famer and Triple Crown winner Johnny Petraglia celebrated his 47th birthday in historic fashion. After 9 frames against Walter Ray Williams Jr., Johnny was flawless and needed only 3 more strikes for perfection. All right, 2 more. Oh! 1 more. Then he rolled one for the record books. That shot made John Leone the 7th man in PBA history to bowl a perfect game on ABC.
College is taken care of. I'm so happy. The kids can go to college. Everything's gravy from now on.
This week, Johnny has less pressure to cope with as the host of our stop on the Professional Bowlers 2, and it's named the Johnny Petraglia Open, and here he is.
Hello, Chris.
John. It was an easy week, no doubt.
Chris, this was wonderful bedlam for the entire week. I couldn't have been happier. It was just a perfect week, really.
Pat, your wife, I'm sure, receives a few phone calls at home.
Pat was telling me that right after the show, the phone started ringing. Michael J. Fox was one of the first to call. He said he never saw anything that exciting happen to one of his friends of his. It was really nice of him.
Well, he was your pupil and greedy.
Yeah, he did pretty good, too. I saw him on the screen. He did okay.
All right. John Jr. and your daughter, their education assured?
Oh, well, I talked to Lee Livingston right away. He said, this much for taxes, this is where we're putting the rest. I got the bosses okay, I know where it goes, everything is set.
Who's the boss?
Well, I meant as far as financial.
Oh, I thought you
Lee
meant
is the
that.
boss. My wife's the boss and everything else.
John, we congratulate you and your family. You've done so much for this sport, and so has our mutual friend and colleague, Nelson Burton, Jr.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, John. Well, the Johnny Petraglia Open has produced a marquee field. The 5 players today, the lowest rank of any player in the field today is 12th in the world. We have Parker Bone with a little local spice. We have Amleto Monicelli making his first appearance in '94. Brian Goebbels in the number 3 position. 296 he bowled 2 weeks ago to defeat our tournament leader, Norm Duke, who bowled 280. Chris, to set the scene, Norm Duke told me last night, whoever he bowls better not miss today or they will not win. And it's very simply that. It's going to be a great show. The crowd's with it. And Chris, income tax season coming up. Let's see what the players are going to pay taxes on this week.
Well, you know, the total 170. 34 to today's winner, 18 for the runner-up spot, 10 for third, 8 for fourth, 6,500 to the man that doesn't win our first game, which is now ready to start. 2 wonderful champions, David Ozio and Parker Bone III. Native of New Jersey. There he is. Weeks average 229. Well, a little 247, Nelson.
You're right, Chris. The only lefty in the field today, Parker Bone. He's bowled a lot of games in this championship pair. He has to get the ball to the left of the 2-pin, have the ball deflect into the 4 and 7.
Successfully making spares. One of the great keys out here. One of the great keys bowl anywhere, whatever grade you bowl. David Ozio.
Well, Ozio was struggling on the right-hand lane before we went on the air. He switched to 4-step delivery on this particular lane before we went on the air. He's using 5 on the other lane, and he just sends the ball wide. And right now, look at the perfect position he is. And the key with that left arm pulling back, squaring the shoulder at the point of release. He's just not playing that lane properly. He has to make a little adjustment in this match.
Well, an open frame for the 1991 Player of the Year, David Ozio of Vidor, Texas.
Ozio playing the outside line. He's going to drift slightly to his right. His target's going to be right between the first and second arrows. This is the lane he should hit. All wood lanes this week. We've been using synthetic lanes part of the time last week. As you see the angle of David Ozio, very smooth speed and very slick lanes. There's a lot of oil on the lanes today, and if you flinch a little bit, the ball will end up light, as Ozio has been in his first 2 shots. He has the 2-pin, easy spare.
All right, that's his first mark of the afternoon, and this is our very first game, and David is disgusted. Can't blame him. Now with the spare up, shooting in the second, Parker Bone. $7-10 for the man that was third in our Las Vegas telecast this year.
Parker Bone with just an ideal style, 5-step delivery. Watch how he lines the right shoulder up, pulls it back, left arm straight to target, everything in position. This week, Chris, 5 players with great balance, great form.
For Parker, his 29th telecast here on ABC. For David Ozio, 30th. And with 10 titles for Ozio and 10 for Parker Bone, they have performed beautifully.
Parker playing that critical outside line. Look where he's trying to set this ball. He's going to slide in this area, and it's going to be right on the very edge. He was so proud that he hadn't rolled on the gutter all week long.
Well, 3 frames, we finally got the first strike of this game now. Ozio trails by 10. Spare up, shooting in the 3rd. That's what he wanted. At almost 40 years of age, David Ozio is not a burnout victim. Here's why.
What the tour amounts to is that how strong you are mentally. I've been very fortunate to have a pretty stable game for a lot of years, but it's come down to desire and the mental attitude. And I made a lot of mental mistakes in the past few weeks that have actually cost me televised championships, but this week I managed to keep it all intact and think properly, and that's probably the best word of wisdom to go for all the amateurs in the United States is think properly and make the right decisions, and you'll always come out on top if you do that.
Well, he's got to make some decisions right now. He finally figured out the right-hand lane, and he goes with that 4-step delivery, and he drifts high on the left-hand lane. You'll see the 4-7-10 split standing momentarily. Gets a good break off the right sideboard as the 4 and 7 go out. The 10-pin for a spare.
Okay. Here in our first game, 10 pins separating the 2 pros. We'll be back. Carolina Lane.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Hey, why does Grand Island, Nebraska make Ace their place?
We go that extra mile.
With an ever-ready floating lantern with battery, just $3.99, and floor mats with a lifetime warranty, your choice, $7.88.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. It gives your engine superior protection against wear, superior protection against heat and stress, superior cleaning power. Protect your car's engine with new advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines.
This is a new car. I'd be crazy not to use Quaker State.
4th year that we've had the pleasure of bringing you live the finals of the Johnny Petraglia Open at the Carolina Lanes, North Brunswick, New Jersey. Parker Bone of New Jersey. Strike up. 4th frame. And now leads by 20 pins. Parker Bone III has peace of mind on the road because wife Mary is a strong family anchor, but she's not grounded.
Well, when I married Parker, my first priority was to be a wife and a mother. We have 2 small boys, but I also had career goals. I went to school, and I work at a local hospital, and it's 5 minutes down the road from our new home. And then Parker, we worked out with our boys that he tries to come home in his busy schedule every week, every 2 weeks, and we get our boys involved. We went skiing, we play golf, tennis. We have a boat we like to utilize, and we try to keep a family life together that way.
And live, there she is watching.
And her husband has put the pressure on Ozio right here.
And David with his spare working strikes in the 5th frame.
2 things to be said about David Ozio. I have to call him Mr. Practice. He said in his little interview of his enthusiasm for the game, but as he comes up on 40 years old, as you see, he qualified 5th through 42 games. He is as enthusiastic as any player I've ever seen out there. The full grip, spreads that index finger for balance, needs to make a good shot here to get back in the match. Left-hand lane, 6th frame.
Cringing back in Vidor, Texas, his supportive wife, Lisa, and their 2 daughters, Heather and Haley.
Chris, something we don't see very often on the PBA Tour, the 8-10 split, and what basically that ball was a reactive resin ball, and it kind of rolled out. David didn't have enough speed, and what he has to do is just knock in one of the pins, discouraged, slides by the 8 pin, throws away 2 pins there, and he's in trouble.
He was discouraged at the very first frame when he had an open. As he thought would be his day. 3 in a row, 6 frame.
Competitive lane conditions, we said. All wood lanes, and Parker just whips it down there with too much speed. The ball hangs out, and he cuts the 2-4 on the left side. Now he has the 1-3, 6-7, has to get to the right of the head pin, hopefully drive the head pin into the 7.
Parker Bone the third. Of course, there is a fourth. He and Mary named one of their 2 sons Parker the fourth, and the other son is Evan. All 4 are in the building. Grandpa? This man, not this man, but the bowler. Okay. 28-10 lead by Parker Bone the third. We'll be back.
One day maybe. One day I'm gonna make you mine.
Continental Tires in a torture test. Advanced technology in high-performance tires. Conti Sport Contact. Continental General Tire. Quality tire manufacturer and sponsor of the PBA.
Hurry, girls, before Daddy gets up. Ooh, pretty.
Now, no more of these are Daddy's corn pops.
Oh, look, Daddy's bowl is too full.
The problem with a cereal that tastes like popcorn, only sweeter, is that it disappears like popcorn, only faster.
Mommy, that's Daddy.
We share.
Hi, girls.
Happy birthday!
Now let's all go make him breakfast.
Kellogg's Corn Pops. It's hard to stop when it's Pops.
He's been called the most exciting young heavyweight in the world. Now Jeremy Williams puts his perfect record on the line. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Hundreds in the bleacher seats off to the left of the championship pair, where David Ozio and Parker Bone the third are meeting head-to-head in our first match, the Johnny Petraglia Open. David's had a tough road thus far. He's trailing by 28. 2 opens, 7th frame. A 7.
Well, David throws an excellent shot on the lane I thought that he would really have trouble with, but here's a solid 7. We haven't seen one of these in a number of weeks. As the head pin drives the 2 pin against the sideboard, it fails to take out the 7.
Okay. Now down to the approach, and another PBA champion, our friend Randy Peterson.
Okay, thanks, Chris. I'm with the Kansas University grad, and Brian, a couple weeks ago, you won the True Value. You almost picked up an extra $200,000. Got another shot possibly at the great Norm Duke. You're bowling fantastic. It's the best I've ever seen you bowl out here. What do you think KU's chances are in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Jayhawks got off to a great start. They faltered in the middle, but they're going to pick it up, and I think they got a great shot getting there.
I'll tell you who else has got a great shot. This guy does. Back to you guys.
Okay. And again, David Ozio plagued by unbearable leads. And it's another open, Nelson.
The high-tech bowling balls, Chris, are the undoing right now of David Ozio. He had one roll out in the 6th frame, then he tried to overpower it in the 8th and paid the penalty with a 4-7-9. Parker Bone, kind of looking down the approach, says, what do I do? And when you're playing that extreme outside line where the ball has to break 17, 18 boards from the edge into the 1-2 pocket, a little bit off at the start of the lane can end up 3 or 4 boards at the back end. And he's struggling, though he has match well in hand.
As we indicated, third in the Las Vegas tournament, and his opponent, David Ozio, second telecast this year. He was fifth at True Value in Peoria, so they have had experience this year, as has our tournament leader, two-time winner Norman Duke, and Brian Goebel, and Leto Monticelli. Broke up the split.
Well, the power player like Parker Bone, his ball is going a little bit too far down the lane before it makes its break, and the ball ends up slightly behind the head pin, drives the 5 around the 10, gets a messenger, take out the 7. He needs 1 spare and 2 frames to salt up the map. That should be Lock City. The best Ozio can do is 181. Parker Bone, even if he opens, will be in the high 180s or 190s. When lanes get very, very slick, if it happens to league bowlers or professionals, you can't try to continually hook the ball to the pocket. What a player like David should have done, and he knows it. He'll look back and critique this. Move to the right and actually throw the ball a little straighter right at the 1-3 hole. He'll learn by today's lessons. He'll probably be out here practicing after the championship round's over.
All right, tonight on the ABC Saturday Night Movie, Ed O'Neill and Mike Farrell star in The Whereabouts of Jenny, followed by an all-new episode of The Commish, all tonight on ABC. And David Ozio will undoubtedly practice a lot of bowling, but might wet a fishing line, too.
Well, he's having a menagerie of shots here on the left-hand lane. 8-10, 4-7-9, 4-6-7. David, you get a nice check coming, and he'll be ready for the tournament next week in Sayville.
This is a great champion, David Ozio, Player of the Year in 1991. So it can happen to the greats also, not only you.
Parker Bone with a spare and strike would have 201, Ozio 147. It's going to be Bone against Goebel in Game 2, Johnny Petraglia Open, 1994 version.
Parker Bone III, right here in his home state of New Jersey, is the victor. This ABC Sports presentation, the Professional Bowlers Tour, will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Most trackers can follow the trail only as long as the weather holds up. Unless it's a tracker spurred on with genuine AC spark plugs. AC plugs fire like lightning for performance so smooth, even the thunderclaps. And that'll keep your engine on the trail to a long life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time.
So better track down some AC spark plugs.
Monday, crime crisis. Think repossessing cars is a crummy job. Well, in Texas, it's deadly, because in the dead of night, it's legal to shoot trespassers, and repo men are running scared. Forrest Sawyer, Date 1, Monday at 8, 7.
Mako Supreme Plus, on sale now. Our Supreme Plus service is twice as good at half price. Now only $225. Our Supreme Finish forms a new sunscreen to protect its deep gloss. And our Catalyzed Primaseal Plus prolongs a super wet shine, backed by over 400 Mako centers coast to coast. Come to your local Mako center and get a $449 Supreme Plus deal, now only $225. Half price. The Mako Supreme Plus sale. If that showroom shines your bottom line, get Mako.
Hey, congratulations.
Is this your bird?
It's my second.
You must be very proud.
Oh, I am.
Dunkin' Donuts is happy to announce a new arrival. Introducing Dunkin' Dark Roast Coffee. It has a bolder, more intense flavor. We roast the beans longer than we do for our regular coffee, so you get the unique, robust taste of a dark roast coffee.
I love them equally. They each have their own special quality.
New Dunkin' Dark Roast, another world-famous coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
Ann Conway, Channel 12 Eyewitness News.
The Pro Bowlers Tour, brought to you by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. New advanced high-tech formula Quaker State Motor Oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines. And Alka-Seltzer. For the way you live today, you'll feel better fast with Alka-Seltzer.
Yes, proud sponsors of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Here you see in the very first match, Parker Bone, the third with 5 strikes, 201 to David Ozio's 147. Well, last Saturday here at Cavalier Lanes, a group of Vietnam veterans got together, and they had the second annual Paralyzed Veterans of America tournament. Now, there were 12 vets from all over the country bowling with 12 of the touring pros, the 12 vets in wheelchairs. Both Bo and I have watched them over the years. They're fantastic. Martin Frost of Yucca Valley, California was the winner, wheelchair division, and Bob Besby won the pro division. You know, last week, as Johnny Petraglia, a Vietnam vet, was rolling his 300, the tournament came to a halt so the guys could watch history being made right here at Cavalier Lanes. Hats off to the wheelchair bowlers.
Chris, and one name I have to mention among the wheelchair bowlers is Al Utek, my friend, that left-hander you saw in the picture. He is undoubtedly the greatest there ever was as a wheelchair bowler. He averages over 200. Now here's another southpaw on the championship here, the local favorite.
Powerful strike, his best thus far this afternoon. And now, you remember Brian Goebel shot a 296. Only 4 more pins and it's been 200,000 for him. He's from Merriam, Kansas. Pin.
Goebel with that very slow, smooth style, 6 feet tall, 165 pounds. Notice how he pulls that left shoulder back in line. The only little thing I see wrong is his sliding foot. His left foot could be more in line with his target, but he has really worked on his game.
32 years old, won the True Value, of course. 13 years of professional, 3 titles.
Chris, most people won't believe it, but he's ranked 3rd in the world. He has been consistent for almost 2 years, 23 cashes in his last 27 tournaments. Watch how he'll drift a little bit to his left. He'll be more around the second arrow. Very solid, smooth game. Watch him lift up straight through the ball.
Leaving a 2-pin.
When lanes are very slick, what you have to watch for is not hooking the ball too much. And they're slick, and we have somewhat of a low-scoring environment. As you see his ball sliding by on the left-hand lane, leading only the 2-pin. It's ideal not to cover too many boards. The straighter player has an advantage when the scoring environment is low.
Kansas University graduates.
Take a look at how Parker Bone's playing lanes. He's starting in this area. He's going to be right out in here, right along the edge, and he's going to be sliding right on here. You're going to see the ball breaking in right through the 1-2 pocket. Great shot.
Testy little shot coming up, though.
Chris, as you see the 2-7 split, he shoots this down the left-hand side, and I asked him why he shot it down that way during the week, and I saw him miss it the only time he shot it. You need to direct the ball into the 2 into the 7 with his extreme angle. He's got to be perfect.
And he wasn't.
Not a good percentage. I spoke with Johnny Petraglia on this championship pair, and he said Parker bowls about 250 games a week in this bowling center with he and Mark Roth, and he should know that this championship pair on the left-hand lane kind of hangs, the right-hand lane hooks high on mistakes, and that's just the pattern Parker has followed in his first game and a half.
2, 4, 7, 8 for Parker Bone, who won the first match 201 to David Ozio's 147.
Now this is the type of spare you have to shoot down the left-hand side to get the angle on the back 8-pin. He needs to take a chance, get the ball between the 2 and 4 pins. The ball will carry out the 8, the 4, the 7. Good percentage by going down the left side on this particular shot.
Beautifully done. Tomorrow on ABC Sports, NASCAR's best hit in the track in one of their sports premier events. That's right, beginning live at 1 Eastern, 12 Central and Pacific from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the Purolator 500. Then it's on to the high banks of Daytona for the first challenge in the International Race of Champions, all tomorrow here on ABC Sports.
See these players trying to play that big hook ball when we have what we call the long oil pattern. You cannot get that ball to break effectively and smoothly the last 10 feet of the lane. It has to start farther out. He needs to get the ball over here to the right of the 2-pin, have the ball carry out the 8 and the 4.
The 8 stands. What an afternoon, though.
Chris, that was an ugly looking shot from the get-go, and these players are a little more pressure than they have been the last couple of weeks. We've had a great striking environment here the last 3 weeks. Remember, we had a 289 by Walter Ray in St. Louis, the 296 by Goebel, the 300 by Petraglia last week. All of a sudden, you have to start making your spares. These are the greatest players in the world, but they haven't been shooting a lot of spares in the last month. They have to settle down and get with it.
There's the wanted result by Brian Goebel. Trails now by 3. We'll be back.
It's never fun to eat and run, to rush and eat too fast, 'cause you know it's gonna catch up with you at last.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Okay, I confess, I want my hair to look great. So I use a special shampoo and conditioner that cleans and completely conditions without the hassle. Net result, no matter what I've been doing, my hair does what I want it to.
Bert Plus. Great hair. No fuss.
Some say it's dangerous to manipulate the laws of physics, to tinker with hard and fast scientific rules, to change bowling to its very core. And to our critics we say, evolve or die. Quantum is a revolutionary urethane ball with multiple core configurations, creating identical reaction and power in lightweight and heavyweight balls, and changing the structure of the game forever.
Start spreading the news. The High Rollers are invading the Big Apple. Bowling's best roll into New York for the Long Island Open. Next Saturday on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
Look forward to going out to that beautiful part of America, Long Island, for the Open. Last year's winner, you may remember, was Dave Arnold. We're on the air at 3 Eastern. Don't forget, 2 Central. Good to see Bill Reitzig and his crew.
Parker Bone up, 4th frame, leads by 3 in a low-scoring match. Second match of the day for him as he defeated Ozio in the first tilt.
7.
Little ball switch for Parker there, made a good shot, and all he has to do is keep the ball around the pocket to win the matches today. You see a really good shot, a little more swing to the edge, a sharper break, 4 zaps around the 7. Makes this, he'll lead by 2.
Okay, let's go down to our On the Approach reporter again. Here's popular Randy Peterson.
Okay, estoy aquí con mi amigo Amleto Monicelli. And Amleto, you speak 3 languages fluently. Tell the folks at home what you're going to do to these guys in Italian today.
Randy, gli distruggerò.
Translation, he's going to destroy them. Back to you guys.
And here at Birdlet's, that was the kind of language that Amleto better come through with. It's called a strike.
I think that woke up Parker. Parker made the ball change, and he looks like he has the proper reaction, getting a lot more finish on the lane, but he's put the pressure on a disciplined player, Brian Goebel, who can take the lead with a strike here in the 5th.
All right, at that double, and there we're looking at Kelly, mom of Lauren, who's 20 months old. And, Bo, I got to give myself an open frame. For years, I've been pronouncing their hometown differently from what it's really pronounced.
Merriam, Kansas?
It is Merriam. Merriam,
well,
Kansas.
That's 2 of us, and I've lived near there all my life. Has an 8-pin lead, 2 in a row can make it 3, and an 18-pin lead, 6 frame.
I was given it the PBA street address. Okay, Brian Goebel, popular pro from Merriam, Kansas.
Parker Bone with that stretch fingertip grip, fingers just down into the tip. He tucks that pinky to get a tighter grip on the ball. He has a great swing and a great wrist action.
Scout almost got there, Nelson.
You bet, partner. And he has had 2 bad breaks on the right-hand lane here. He's left a solid 7 in the 4th, a 7-pin here again in the 6th frame. Look at how he's riveted and locked on his target, follow through right down the line. 4-pin doesn't quite pop out of the channel.
This is the second match of the afternoon, the first one by Parker Bone, of whom you're looking, 201 to David Ozio's 147. Winner here will meet Amleta Monticelli, and the winner of that semifinal game will go against Norm Duke.
Seven-pin strike, 7-pin, 7-pin. Parker can't do much better than that. He's gotten himself an easy spare. If you go the well enough times, he's going to get some strikes, but he cannot get too far behind Brian Goebel. Spare here in the 7th. He'll trail by 19.
Second match. More coming your way in a moment. Look at this fact. 1 of every 3 Americans, 82 million total bowls each year, or more than 6.7 million participate in a bowling league annually. Food for thought.
Bowling is some people's idea of fun. Now, truck bowling, that's when things can get real interesting. But to do it right, you gotta have one of these. A 1994 Ford Ranger 4x4. Complete with push-button 4-wheel drive, a whopping 4-liter V6, and a wide, powerful stance. Get a Ford Ranger 4x4 and go truck bowling. Come on. I just love league nights.
Okay, 2 scoops of raisins make Kellogg's Raisin Bran taste so good, people forget it's good for you. What do you think?
It's delicious.
And?
It tastes good.
That's the same reason.
He stole my answer.
And it's not an answer.
I agree with them. It tastes great.
Okay. You got the first part right. Kellogg's Raisin Bran tastes good, but...
Good for us!
There are 2 reasons to eat Kellogg's Raisin Bran. The taste.
And?
If you think you know what a current affair is all about,
you haven't seen us lately.
A current affair, the original, and it's still the best in the business.
Weeknights at 5:30 on Channel 12.
And there is Norm Duke. Had he been a race car driver, he would have been superb. He's certainly the great bowler on the tour now, Bo.
Well, he's our tournament leader, but he's got 2 games to wait to see who his opponent will be. Now let's take a look at Brian Goebel, how he's trying to attack the championship here. His target's going to be out here around the first arrow. He's going to slide in this area, starting right here, a little serpentine approach to the left, projects the ball between the first and second arrows. Here we go. Somewhat of a worried look upon his face. He has a 17-pin lead, and this is the combination he missed in the 3rd frame. He had the 2, 4, and 8, but the 2, 8 are the key pins. Let's see if he makes the adjustment. Has to get the ball to the right of the 2-pin.
Oh, that's sleeper 8, Bill.
Well, spares are so important in the sport of bowling, especially in match game competition. He's opened the doors. You see him go by the 2-pin to the left and not take out the 8. Now, in the third frame, he tried throwing a straight ball at that particular spare and just missed everything to the left. This time, he tries to hook the ball into it, miscalculates the amount of hook, and he's opened the door for Parker Bone. We have 3 frames left, 5 pins difference.
.296 and .280. This man with the .296 and the tournament leader this week, Norm Duke, with the .280.
It's a good break and breaks up the what could have been the 2-4-7, the 3-6-7 split. Has the single 3-pin, no problem.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. incidentally finished 41st today. Dave Houston 31st. Johnny Petraglia 26th. And Nelson, our statistician, Butch Soper, beautiful, 9th.
Parker Bone, 8th frame, trails by 5. Most all the top players on the tour today play the big hook with a high-powered modern bowling ball. And right now, that's not the right way to skin the cat here. You see these balls wandering all over the lanes. They need to straighten the shot out, be a little more simple towards the pocket, and avoid the open frame.
And that was straight to the target. Parker Bone, the 3rd. We mentioned tomorrow's big race day, the Pure Later 500 from Atlanta, and then the International Race of Champions. Parker's grandfather was a race car driver, quite successful. Sports cars, road courses in the East.
Foundation frame for Parker Bone, trailing by 6.
Big 9th frame strike. Okay, coming up next, boxing returns to ABC's Wide World of Sports with a battle between 2 undefeated heavyweights. Jeremy Williams has been called the most exciting young heavyweight in the world. He'll take on the 1992 Olympian, Larry Donald. That's live, plus the road to the Kentucky Derby begins with the Florida Derby. Nice strike by Goebel. Wide World following us, and we're in North Brunswick, New Jersey, Carroll Air Lane.
Well, this is where you have to pay dividends on the PBA Tour. Brian Goebel has the experience. He's a proven winner out here, 32 years old. He's up in a situation where he's totally lost on the left-hand lane, but he needs to throw 2 strikes and 5 to lock out Parker Bone. Let's see what happens. Anybody can win this match.
Brian Goebel.
Goebel, the most improved player, Chris, in the last 3 years on the tour. In that situation 3 years ago, he'd have flipped that ball about 10 feet out on the lane, let it bounce down there, and just take what comes. That time, he stayed with the shot, waited for it. If he can do it one more time, he will defeat the local favorite, Parker Bone. If not, Parker can determine his own destiny. Here we go.
A 10.
I'll give Brian Goebel the spare. It'll be an even 200. Parker Bone will need 2 strikes and 6 to win, 2 and 5 to tie. Anything less than strikes in the first 2 shots, Goebel will go on to meet Monicelli.
$200. Lee Livingston there behind, managing director here.
If Parker's got a Sunday ball, as we call it out here, now's the time to use it. He needs 2 strikes, and he hasn't even been close except for a couple of shots. Must strike this 2 balls. Wow.
Failure of the scout to come through. Brian Goebel moves on. You know, this week, Choice Hotels Tip of the Week offers a tutorial from teaching pro Don Johnson.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
Hey, Don Johnson, what's happening here, bud?
Hey, Bo, I'm just working here with Tom from Toledo. He's got a real bad problem, the ball going with the thumb hole every time.
Is that something that most seniors have? As we look at Tom's release here, what's the problem?
Well, a lot of people have this problem, especially seniors, because they don't get any turn in what we call the turn area. Now, what I'm going to do is show Tom how to get this ball off the thumb hole.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to put you a little more on the side at stance, and I want you to keep there until it passes your leg. Then we're going to open up your hand, which is controlled by your forearm. We might think thumb towards the ceiling. And then we're going to come back here and turn it back in the turn area, and then just shake hand with the pins. Again, Amuleto Monticelli's got his hand right there at the top of the swing, so it can't be all bad, can it?
Nope.
Let's see you try it once, Tom, to see if we get off the thumb hole.
Okay.
Okay, very good. We did not hear that go over the thumb hole, and this is going to give you a lot more strikes, Tom.
Felt good. Hey, Don Johnson, one of the great instructors, Tom, just gave you a great tip, and you'll be winning now, and we all know that winning never gets old.
Look for future ABC Sports winning never gets old bowling tips. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
There are gut balls and gutter balls. And sometimes the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history, narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, winning never gets old, and neither does saving money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room in any Quality, Comfort, Clarion, or Sleep Hotel. And you can save 30% off the price of your room. That number again, 1-800-4CHOICE. Perfect.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotel.
At the first tickly itch of athlete's foot, get an X. Killing those grungy fungi before they get cracking and burning. Go get that can now, or else don't blame Desonex.
I used pressure-treated lumber, and I still have $800 in water damage. How come?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer. Without Thompson's, you're wide open for water damage. Thompson's. Don't wait until it's too late.
Introducing the official PBA sweatshirt, not available in any store. Order now by calling this number. For just $19.99, you'll get a full-cut, fruit-of-the-loom sweatshirt bearing the official emblem of the PBA Tour, the only one of its kind. Choose either white or gray. We can't guarantee you'll get a strike every time you put this on, but we can guarantee you won't find the official PBA sweatshirt anywhere else.
And don't forget to order a spare.
Call 1-800-214-4200 to order your PBA sweatshirt. Pay just $19.99 plus $3.95 shipping and handling. Credit card orders accepted.
2 down, 2 to go. Lone in the first game, 5 strikes, 2-1, 147. Goebel comes back with 5 strikes, shoots a 200. The Bones 184. Now it's Amuleto Monticelli and Goebel going in the semifinal game. We've had the joy of doing a lot of figure skating over the years, and this is one of the young skaters that we watched from the time she was about 14, Elaine Sayak, who is a native of New Jersey, a native of Paramus. National champion, world champion in 1982. Longtime friend, went to Beijing, China with Peggy Fleming and a group of us, and we had fun there, and look at the smile. A professional now, came here to see all her ABC friends, and I'm proud to be one of them. Carol Letty, Larry Cam, everybody. Look at that lady. Elaine Zack.
Chris, a solid field of 211 players, 220 average to make the top 24. Let's take a look at some of the other players in the top 24 this week. LeClaire. Mark McDowell and Benoit, 2 of the top players, 6th and 7th. The Big D in 8th. Butch, 9th. Ferraro, Player of the Year. Bob Learn got knocked out of the General Tire last week. Chris Warren looking sharper. Big Bob Spaulding. George Branham, the general champion. Curtis, our guest commentator. Randy made the top 24. Brian Smith, watch that name, a good young player, Chris.
All right, upcoming events. Next week, Long Island. We go to Sayville, beautiful part of this part of the country. $140,000 Long Island Open, and then we go to Connecticut for the $135,000 Tums Classic. Windsor Locks, next 2 weeks. 3 p.m. Eastern. Join us. And stay with us now for the semifinal game. Brian Goebel and Emleto Monicelli.
Two of the most disciplined players we have on the tour.
All right. Now our first look this year, the man in his 63rd television appearance, Emleto Monicelli. Strikes like that made him a back-to-back player of the year in 89 and 90.
And here's how he got to be that great player. Not only is he a great athlete and trains well, but look at how he winds up. He opens the right shoulder, then closes it. Then he gets everything in good position. See how we're talking about that foot perpendicular to the foul line, and this left shoulder will pull back as he snaps through with his wrist. Lines everything up the shot. Chris, he was my on-the-air pick to win this tournament. He looks sharper than ever. He's determined to win.
Body English didn't help.
Well, a solid 9, especially when you're having a little trouble scoring and everybody's traveling. Look at how disciplined we talk to it. He holds that position, holds it. He knows it's a good shot. How do you say I got hosed in Spanish? I'm sure he knows that.
12-year veteran is one of bowling's millionaires. Brian Goebel has reached the 367,000 point in his 13 years. A professional, hasn't been full-time all the time. Though he said he was really benefiting from the eye surgery on both eyes. He said no longer contacts or spectacles.
Well, it's somewhat of a controversial type operation. I've seen some specials on TV about it, especially Russians are experts in it. If it works for him, obviously it is working, and he has got his eye on his second title of the year. He's got 2 games left.
And now he has 3 in a row. Brian Goebel, Merriam, Kansas.
See how Lamletto winds up. He starts to the right of the approach. He's going to drift all the way to the left. His target's going to be around the 3rd arrow. Despite the lanes being very slick, he can swing it out with a nice smooth arc. The bucket, 2-4-5-8. We have seen Brian Goebel miss this twice on this lane. Let's see if Monicelli has learned anything from watching Goebel. Got to get the ball in this zone, have that ball take out the 8, and avoid the chop of the 5.
That 8 again.
Pros are 0 for 3. We have to change the odds on that, baby. And they've all missed it on the left. So they're not calculating enough break in the center of the lane. They have to send it a little bit wider. The tendency is to pull it across the lane. Monicelli in trouble. Okay, we looked at Monicelli going one direction. Let's see how he does it the other direction. Goes left, right. Look at the trajectory right between the 3rd and 4th arrows and winds it up. Trails by 35.
Last year, Amleto was on 4 acts. We'll return.
My truck has 99,000 miles on it, and it's like a brand new engine.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have a new engine.
No hesitation. You hit your passing gear, you're gone. Right now.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I love them. I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
Love them. Love them.
Split fire at $5.99. America knows it only costs more till you use it.
I can say I'm saving at least $3 to $4 a week.
Probably getting, I would say about 20 miles more per tank full, and that's a lot for me.
They'll pay for themselves basically in the first 6 months you own them.
Split fire. It only costs more till you use it. Here's another split fire breakthrough. Twin core wire sets with a dual firing path to every plug. More power and more mileage for your money back.
He's been called the most exciting young heavyweight in the world. Now Jeremy Williams puts his perfect record on the line. Next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Okay, Wide World next. Capacity crowd, Carolina Lanes. They're standing there watching along with you. Brian Goebel of Merriam, Kansas, who has a 35-pin lead, 3 in a row, shooting in the 4th frame. All right, Randy Peterson. Here he is.
Norm, you're small in stature, but yet you can get all over it like the big boys out here. And my question to you is, how do you do it?
Well, I tell you, I didn't always hook the ball, but here lately you have to. And you just got to wait and wait and wait, and at the very last second, just get all you can. Just go for it. Face gets all ugly and stuff, but it works.
Do you know how to say you got hosed in Spanish?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
5 strikes in a row. Thanks, Norman. Randy?
Don't count Monticelli out. Trails by 55. Strong of heart, strong of ball, strong of ability. He needs to throw some strikes right now, though. Trails by 55, can cut it to 45.
His wife, Teresa, here with her sister, Angela, Barquisimeto, Venezuela.
Building a new home. They say that it will be finished, the construction, in April, and Teresa is both the architect and the engineer. And here's the guys who's paying the bills. Amleto trails by 45, can cut Goebel's lead to 35, 6 frame. Disappointed.
Mm-hmm. And Norm Duke continues to stay loose off to our right.
Got to hang in there when there's a low-scoring environment. The show has only averaged 183 after 2 matches today. You don't wish it upon it, but you figure your opponent's going to make a mistake somewhere.
Now I can watch along with you, Brian Goebel. High game of the week, 280. His low game was 162. 6 frame, 5 in a row. Wow, 4-9.
Not what Goebel's looking for, but here's how he has to make it. Get the ball to the left of the 4-pin, slide it into the 9. That will convert the spare, and it's just what the doctor ordered for Monticelli.
An open frame in the 6th, 146 through the 6th. Lead has been cut to 32. Good time to exhale.
The game is now on. 4 frames left. 32-pin leads, not insurmountable for this young man here who knows how to win.
Like the pro that he is, Brian Goebel will strike in the 7th. We're in North Brunswick, New Brunswick's Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. What a facility, a leading academic medical center. This area's major cardiac referral center and beneficiaries of the Celebrity Pro-Am $19,000 for the Institute for Children with Cancer and Blood Disorders. Great work they do in this area. Kindness of Lee Livingston, Managing Director of Carolina Lanes, helped these children.
The average Grand Prix lasts but a few hours, unless it's a Grand Prix started with a genuine Delco Freedom battery. Because the battery that cranked up every 1993 IndyCar Series winner has the power to help keep your engine in the race for a long life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time.
Keep your car in the running for that extra lap with Delco batteries.
Oh, hi. What do you have? Myself, I have the goulash, I have the fries, I have cheesecake, and now I'll have the Tums. Tums have calcium.
Many antacids don't. These have aluminum and magnesium. So do these. Tums helps knock out heartburn and gives you calcium.
Something your body needs anyway. So what do you have? Have the goulash, have the fries, have the cheesecake, and have...
Tums. Sunday, he was framed by crooked cops. When he got out of jail, the cops came back for more.
I can handle him.
Sunday, Tom Selleck is an innocent man. Parental discretion advised.
We spoke about this gentleman a little while ago, managing director here. Feeds the homeless every weekend. Pays for it out of his pocket.
What a
More can I
humanitarian,
say?
huh, partner?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Monticelli trails by 32, Spare working the 6th, up in the 7th.
Ed Lotto, winner of 13 championships, player of the year twice, $1.2 million earned jumping on.
Every match comes down to one key frame, and this is it for Monticelli. He had a chance to close the gap in the 6th on this left-hand lane, left the 10-pin. Now it's a must frame for him. He can squeeze Brian Goebel if he can strike right here. Here we go.
And without bravado of any kind, this is the type disposition and demeanor that he has. And here's a cool cat, too.
Well, he's got to answer Monticelli with strikes now. You can't lay back, got to stay aggressive. Monticelli will keep coming if you don't stop him.
Semi-final match. We expect the same next week as Bowling's Best hope to take a bite out of the Big Apple when they take aim at the Long Island Open. That's next Saturday at 3 Eastern and Pacific, 2 Central, right here on ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast.
Okay, Brian Goebel has maintained his 32-pin lead, but it's still up for grabs. 9th frame.
Oh, my goodness.
Has given Monticelli a major opening. The 4-10 split. The odds of making this for a top pro, I'd say, is about 15-1. Needs to get the ball to the left of the 4, slide it over into the 10. Tough shot, 9th frame, semifinal game. Went for it boldly, Chris, but he has opened the door for Monticelli.
Jay Hawker really flying for it.
A lead, which could have been 42 for Goebel if he struck in the ninth, has now dropped to 16. Monticelli can cut the lead to 6. Ninth frame, 2 strikes working.
Close your eyes.
Well, there's a few words in Spanish we obviously do not know, and I don't want to know what those are, as he cuts right through the heart, leaves the 4, 6, 7, 10, big tonk, and when the opportunity stared him in the face, he's made a bad shot.
In the semifinal match, the winner will meet Norm Duke for the $34,000 first prize.
Brian Goebel locks it up, sitting in the bench. Goebel already 200 through 9 frames. The best Amleto can do is 196. It's going to be a rematch of what we had 2 weeks ago, Chris. Norm Duke against Brian Goebel. Monticelli just finishing out.
And that 2 weeks ago was 296 by this man and 280 by Norm Duke. This ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Announcing the biggest advance in Quaker State history. It's Quaker State's new advanced high-tech formula motor oil. It gives your engine superior protection against wear, superior protection against heat and stress, superior cleaning power. Protect your car's engine with new advanced Quaker State motor oil. It's formulated for today's high-tech engines.
This is a new car. I'd be crazy not to use Quaker State.
If you demand more from an aftershave than alcohol burn, you gotta try alcohol-free Sensitive with cooling sensates. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
Cameron Park, California makes Ace airplanes. Know why?
We make hardware.
Easy.
This month, just ask Ace about their great deals like Ace 5-star flat latex wall paint, just $7.77 a gallon.
Ace is America's place for better ideas.
Robert Durek's back as Spencer.
What are you, some kind of tough guy? Exactly.
Avery Brooks is Hawk.
Affirmative.
In a hot 2-hour movie.
It's my story. I'm sticking with it.
And it's their toughest case yet. Spencer's back in ceremony Monday.
This just in to Eyewitness News.
Chase it.
We're going live to the scene now.
Feel it.
Eyewitness News has new information.
Live it.
We're seconds away from a verdict.
Watch it.
The investigation is unfolding and we have new
Channel 12 Eyewitness News. We're going all out for every story.
Harold's is having an office furniture expo and everything is on sale. You'll save an additional 10% off our everyday low prices on home, office, and executive office furniture. Harold's has desks, credenzas, bookcases, file storage, and computer furniture in every style and finish for today's office. If you want to save up to 60% on all office furniture, come to Harold's, your office furniture specialist.
It's the all-time champion, TV's most outstanding game show, Jeopardy! 10 years of unquestionable excellence.
Weeknights at 7:30 on Channel 12.
Karen Adams, Channel 12 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Moran in New York. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Undefeated heavyweights featuring the explosive Jeremy Williams and former Olympian Larry Donald kick off our boxing season on Wide World in a live 12-round fight from Las Vegas. Plus, the road to the Kentucky Derby begins today with the first major test for 3-year-olds and the running of the Florida Derby live. That's all coming up next on Wide World. Now let's go back to bowling.
Well, Brian Goebel had a total of 8 strikes in his 219 to 196 victory over Monticelli. But prior to that, David Ozio, oh, what a sad match for him as Bone won it 201 to 147. And then Brian Goebel steps in 200 to 184. This is always a great week for bowling here at Carolina Lanes, and it begins on Monday with a Celebrity Pro-Am. And speaking of celebrities, I guess there's none any larger than Michael J. Fox. He is this great name, and Greedy is the movie. And he bowled right here. Watch him. And there, of course, his instructor.
And his partner was Mark Roth. And I have to mention, Chris, you had a little part. You played yourself in the movie Greedy.
That I did. Get to meet this man with the long hair. And, of course, there he is. Johnny Petraglia, for whom this tournament is named. Johnny live on the left, and that's John J.R. And what a journalist, Phil Mushnick of the New York Post. He's here with his wife, Debbie, and a great supporter of the New Jersey Tournament of Champions, another benefit that we all support.
You bet, Chris. And setting up the championship match is the bowling videos. Many people have sent them in, and it's very interesting. If they would send them to this address, Ansonia Station, P.O. Box 1800, New York, New York, 10023-1800.
And we had one for today, but we've just had so many things happening here, including a lot of spares in the first 3 games. But here we go for the championship.
Last time these players met in championship round, 296 for this man, 280 for his opponent, Norm Duke.
And that is a lonely 9.
Well, Duke told us, and I said at the top of the telecast, if my opponent misses today, he loses. So I guess if he's prophetic enough, the match is already over. But there's a lot left to go.
Spare for the winner of the semifinal game, Brian Goebel. In fact, he's 1-2. Scores of 200-219. Now Norman Duke. And the native Texan in the pocket.
Duke just solid as ever, starts right out where he left off in his last championship match. He had 11 strikes against Brian Goebel. Not enough as he bowled 280. Second frame.
Many fans shouting Duke. That double puts the pressure on Brian Goebel, who won True Value at Landmark Lane from Peoria. Solid.
Chris, just a terrific tournament this week, the Johnny Petraglia Open. 18,000 spectators came through the turnstiles this week, and that's quite a lot for a PBA tournament. We have a capacity crowd here on for the championship match. Goebel spare strike. His opponent, Duke, started with 2 strikes. Third frame.
English major at Kansas University.
Blueprint strike. Ball strikes the 1-3, deflects into the 5 and 9.
3 for 29-year-old Norm Duke, now bowling out of Edmond, Oklahoma.
The absolutely perfect form of Norm Duke. A low maintenance swing. He's just above his shoulders. Look at how everything squares away. This foot is right along the target line, follow through the target, left shoulder back, knee bend perfect. 5'5", 125 pounds. He can do it all.
Well, 2, 8, and a 10.
Could have really put the squeeze on his opponent, Brian Goebel, but now all he has to do is try to get the ball in this area and bounce one of the pins out. I watched him leave it twice this week, and that's what he likes to try to do. Ram the 2-8 straight on and bounce it out of the kickback.
open frame. Two-time winner this year, Norm Duke. We're in the championship match. We'll be back.
All right, Chief. Open wide. Come on. Look, Daddy loves corn pops, see? And here it comes.
The problem with a cereal that tastes like popcorn, only sweeter, is that it disappears like popcorn, only faster.
Y'all finished? Good boy.
He may want seconds.
Kellogg's Corn Pops. It's hard to stop when it's pops.
I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. No wonder 8 out of 10 wives prefer the natural Just for Men look to gray hair.
It's like you took off 10 years.
With Just for Men hair color. And now, new Just for Men color gel for the hard-to-color hair of mustaches and beards. Brush in, rinse out, just 5 minutes.
From Atlanta, pure speed, pure skill, and pure excitement. The Purelator 500 live Sunday on ABC.
And this man had skill of another kind. Phil Villapiano, Bowling Green graduate, great Oakland Raider, great bowling fan, and can bowl.
A man who's probably the best all-around athlete on the Pro Bowlers Tour leads this match by 5, Ryan Goebel.
That three-bagger puts him in the lead by 15.
Brian's accomplishments in college: just missed scholarships in baseball and basketball. He featured a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, hit 300 as a third baseman, and played 1 year on the bowling team coached by Bob Glass. After the first year, he turned pro. Right now, it's paying dividends. He could extend his lead to 25 over Norm Duke.
.47. That on the left lane here at Carolier.
Goebel, a very cerebral move on the lanes as you see the low angle, and he just avoids the 4-7-9 split, the 9-pin last going down. He's moved towards the center of the lane and not playing that critical outside line. He's giving himself a little more room for error.
Continues to mark here in the championship match. 34,000 to the victor, 18 to the runner-up. Using the full approach, right? Opened with 3 in a row. 4th frame.
Went to dinner with him the other night, Chris, and the little guy can really eat. He had six appetizers in about 1 hour, and very strong body, strong mind, and a strong ball, which he's been feeding all this week. He's over to the left. He's going to be in this area, play the big hook ball, as he talked about, between the 2nd and 3rd arrows.
All right, Bo, who picked up the tab?
Have to be honest, our production assistant, Steve Shunk, picked it up for the boys.
Oh, another Bowling Green graduate.
Very entertaining match so far for the championship. Just a 3-pin differential, 6 frame.
And off to the opposite side for a 6-10.
Brian's got a high maintenance swing. He gets up there real high. He has a, look at this swing right there. It's very high. And when you have a high swing like that, you can get hot and cold and you throw some very erratic shots. He usually does 1 a game. He got away with it in this particular frame. Both these players feature 6.5 step approaches. Norm meditates, and here goes Brian, 7th frame. Spare here by Goebel, it will be all even. Good spare technician, straightens the ball out, completely flattens it out on the spares. Norm knows the score. He has 2 strikes working. Watch this technique by Goebel. The full grip. He's got a big hand, stretches around the ball straight at the 10 pin.
Okay, spare for Goebel.
Norm Duke, way left. He's going to target right in this area. Quickly up there, bang, right through the shot.
Mixing them up. 3 in a row and taking a 10-pin lead in the title game.
Norm ranked 2nd in the world behind Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the computer rankings and Brian Goebel 3rd. Walter Ray struggled this week, did not cash. He's taking a couple of weeks off to give all the boys a little chance to catch up. Duke leads by 10, can make it 20.
Five feet 5, 125 pounds, 29 years old.
Both honored and vilified for his actions on the lanes, and right now he's squeezing Goebel, the man who defeated him in the True Value 2 weeks ago. And he put the real good squeeze on him as Brian took that squeeze from inside to outside to the grip of the ball. Hits high, leaves the 3. Watch the 7 pin, barely goes down. He leaves the 3-6-10, avoids the 3-6-7-10 split. He hangs tough in the match. Now, Goebel, to get back in this match, he must throw some strikes. Duke, you cannot wait for him to make a mistake. A possible 232 if he strikes out. Duke going at a 235 pace.
Fourth pin for Brian Goebel, who thus far this year has earned $38,025. This man, $109,000, only to be topped by Johnny Petraglia, $110,000.
Norm Duke, as he comes up here, he predicted earlier, if you miss, you're mine, and he can lock it up if he strikes here. Here we go.
2 wins coming into this one, the choice in the AC Delco Classic. And he was 2nd in Peoria, don't forget, with a 280, while Brian Goebel shot a 296.
You know, Chris, I just saw something by Brian Goebel there as we were watching Norm Duke. He came back and told Norm, nice shot. And he knew it cost him a bunch of money, but he admired the shot of this man.
Difference of 16,000, winning or finishing 2nd. Oh, now Norm Duke already earned, and we're just in the month of March, $143,000, Bo.
Off to a good start, and he's going to make a lot more. He is razor sharp this year. His goal is to be Player of the Year, and he's got 3 victories under his belt already. Finishing the 240s, Brian Goebel, a very admirable 221 if he strikes out, but not enough against the King, Duke.
Well, Norm Duke, who won last year's ABC, American Bowling Congress Masters in Tulsa, again is the leading money winner, and of course has won 3 titles this year.
Where nature stores gas. Where man does. Bright idea. Brighter idea.
true value. Help is just around the corner.
Everybody hates to eat and run. We'd rather take it slow. But the way this life is going, gotta grab your food and go. And when all that running round catches up with you at last, get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing makes you feel better faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at choice hotels like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
Yes, Norm Duke has won his third. His fans cheer 244 to Brian Goble's 211. You see the money, and you see the winner.
Oh, man. Oh, Brian Goble again. Woo.
We'll let you catch your breath while Lee Livingston, we talked about him earlier, is the managing director here. And going to give us something you can spend right here.
Okay to lead the tournament, Norm. On behalf of Cavalier Lanes, I'd like to present you with a check for $34,000. Man, you are tough.
All right. And now to the man, the 300 man. You love him here in New Jersey? Johnny Petraglia.
Norm, I said they owed you one. Well, you bowled good enough. They still owe you one. Tremendous performance. Great bowler, Norm. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to thank Brunswick Corporation. Boy, what a wonderful supporter of our tour. I'd like to thank Lee Livingston, the proprietor here, and of course our host, Johnny Petraglia. What a wonderful show they put on. And thank you, New Jersey fans. I appreciate you.
You and Michael J. Fox would make a great doubles pair.
I heard it that Michael J. can bowl pretty good now.
Well, he had a good teacher in Johnny. Last week you sort of took some time off, and it must have helped.
Well, it did. I was emotionally drained, and Brian put me through the ringer 2 weeks ago, and I just had to go home and shake it off. And I'm back, and now we get to start over.
You're going to stay in the East and be in Long Island.
I don't know.
Oh, please. We like to watch you bowl.
Well, I like to bowl good, and sometimes I need the rest.
Okay. We all do. Congratulations, Norm. See you next week. Long Island, Sayville. For Bo Burton, I'm Chris Schenkel. Goodbye. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Today's show was produced by Carol Letty. Directed by Larry Camp. Technical director, Michael Carmen. Associate director, Russell Brooks. Production manager, Mike Webb. Technical operations manager, Dennis Szabo. Stage manager, Tom Gatewood. Assistant to the producer, Steve Shunk.
The Pro Bowlers Tour has been brought to